Victor Wembanyama is the greatest player in NBA history. That is what all of us will be saying in 5 years' time. Because we tried to warn you, the NBA will never be the same again. Oh, it's only preseason, he won't do that in the regular season. Wait until he plays an elite big like Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis, you say?
Wemby shakes, takes, and slams! It's absurd!
40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, 0 turnovers on 71% from the field. That's what Wemby just did against a team with Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flagg. And if I told you the least memorable part of that performance was his 40 points, I would be telling the truth. Because Victor Wembanyama single-handedly had about 7 different plays in this game that no one in NBA history could dare to even try, let alone pull off.
Wembanyama, the fake, the reverse, and the foul!
Just watch this play where Lively gets the ball in the paint, and he goes for the jump hook. Wemby treats him like his son. Keep in mind, Derek Lively is listed at 7'2", and Wemby just swatted him like he was a small guard. But that was the least exciting part of this play, because after blocking Lively on one end, Wemby then gets the ball, brings it up the floor as he starts putting on a handling clinic before going behind the back into a step back 3, and whilst getting fouled, he drills the shot. And you might be thinking, that was what Wemby was doing all game, taking ridiculous pull-up threes like we saw last year. Oh no, this is the scariest part. Wemby was just messing around on that play because he felt like it. We saw it in preseason, and we've now seen it in game 1. Victor Wembanyama is no longer settling for jump shots. He can still do things like that when he wants to or needs to, but this was a game where he dominated the Mavs inside. Pause. Because Wemby is starting to figure out how to use that size and his improved strength to get to the rim at will. Just like this move against AD in transition, using the in and out dribble to get past him, and even with one of the best shot blockers ever, he doesn't care and just throws it down with his left. Or how about this time with the Mavs in a zone? And if you're going to give Wemby that amount of space, even Anthony Davis isn't going to dare try and block his shot with that kind of runway. And what makes Wemby so special is, in addition to having physical traits that we've never seen, in addition to the skill set he has, he also has a really, really high basketball IQ. Just look at him here, getting the screen from Harper. He's about to pull up for 3, but with Lively contesting, he gives it back to Harper, and immediately he then cuts, and it's just a casual 2-hand dunk because he can. And when you pair these buckets with what he can do as a lob threat in pick and roll situations or in transition, where he decides he can just turn any lob into an alley-oop because he's that big and he's that good, all of a sudden, that's 12 to 16 points a game off dunks, without even mentioning getting to the free throw line, and there you have an efficient 20 points a night every single game. And the scary part is, that's the easy stuff for Wemby. Yes, this play right here, where he pump fakes PJ Washington and then throws down a reverse dunk, that is easy for Wemby. What he's also doing at an even better level than he was last year is operating in the mid-range as well. Just like his first bucket of the game, where it's a screen from Vassell to create a bit of an opening, Lively does a good job defensively, but it doesn't matter, because Wemby is in control and he can just shoot over anyone. Or how about against Najee Marshall, this time with the clock winding down, there's no panic, there's no rush, he gets to his spot, he rises up, and he knocks it down. I think of a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who has consistently been one of the best post scorers in the NBA, and he has done it by establishing his position, using his size, and then dominating in the short to long mid-range. And I think Wemby can do the exact same. When you look at his shooting form, when you look at his three-point shooting, his free throw shooting, he can dominate in that short mid-range without having to take too many dribbles. And whilst it's fun watching him make the more simple shots and do it so well, he was just doing things out there that made no sense.
Wembanyama working Davis, spinning, taking, hitting, plus the foul!
Or this play, which might have been my favorite shot of the entire night. He sets the screen for Castle, pump fakes AD at the 3-point line, goes between the legs, turns one way, back the other way, steps through, and off one leg, he banks it off glass. It is so over. Let me stress this. It has never been more over. Victor Wembanyama is using Luka Doncic fakes and step-throughs. We already saw him do the step-through from 20 feet out against the Indiana Pacers, and he just continues to add to his game. And that footwork that he seemed to be working on with Hakeem, I don't even know if you can call it Hakeem Olajuwon footwork, because that is footwork of someone that is not a mortal. And everything we saw in preseason, it's even more special than we could have imagined. It's even scarier. Like Ryan Rucco said, it really is a figment of our basketball imagination what he is doing.
A figment of our basketball imaginations.
And if there was one part of preseason where Wemby actually struggled, where there was cause for concern, it was the turnovers, averaging 5 turnovers a game in just 20 minutes a night. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a genius, but I also knew some of those turnovers weren't going to happen in the regular season, like this behind the back pass in transition. But I didn't think Wemby would have 0 turnovers. And honestly, the biggest takeaway from this wasn't just Wemby's ability to control the ball, but this goes beyond Wemby, and this should be scary for the entire NBA. This was about Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, because if Vic didn't have 40 points, I'd be talking about Castle and Harper right now, who are both incredibly good at setting up Vic, at controlling the pace of the offense, at getting to the rim, creating for their teammates. I don't know what this team will look like with De'Aaron Fox, but all I know is they have 3 seriously good point guards on their team, and that's not a bad thing when you need players to get the ball to your generational center. Oh, I should probably mention the defense as well. Wemby only ended up with 3 blocks, so is it even a good defensive game for him? I mean, that's standard. That's below standard. It is worth mentioning the Mavs had an offensive rating of 80 when Wemby was on the floor. Just to put that into perspective, last year the Wizards had the worst offense in the NBA with an offensive rating of 105.8. The Mavs had an offensive rating of nearly 114, 34 points below what they recorded when Vic was on the floor. And we can talk about all of the offense and the 40 points, but what might be even more scary is he's gotten better defensively. He is stronger, he is more intimidating, he has a better supporting cast, and the 3 blocks are cool, and I showed you the Derek Lively block, which is insane, but it's his presence that changes everything. It's his ability to force players to pick up their dribble and then turn the ball over, to force players to kick it out, to not even look at the rim when he is there, or if they do try to score near him, their shot is getting altered every single time. And we might see him average less shots a game as players get more scared of him, but I promise you the Spurs defense is only going to get better and better. But get used to not having efficient nights when you were up against Victor Wembanyama, and get used to being dominated on the other end of the floor, because this is someone we have never seen before, and I can't wait for another 80 games of it this season. And if you want to see me continue to talk about that or talk about Dylan Harper, click here, subscribe to the channel, dropping a like would be cool. Have a great day.